Hello, I'm Dr. Crawford. Today I want to share a few things about chronic pain and the anger that accompanies chronic pain most of the time. I call it the match that isn't made in heaven. It's estimated that 116 million Americans suffer from chronic pain. Every day they're living their lives in misery. This not only upsets their life, but also the lives of their family and anybody else that is in contact with the person that's suffering. To complicate matters, anger many times goes along with the chronic pain. It just seems to follow. Anger has been called temporary insanity because when one is angry, they are not thinking with the civilized part of the brain. They are out of control. And it's actually that feeling of being out of control that actually spurs the anger. People feel helpless about their circumstances. They feel helpless about what caused their pain. They feel helpless about treatments that failed. They feel helpless about the way they were treated by certain doctors or nurses, or also the financial strain that has come about as a result of their chronic pain. So people get into victimhood, and when they're in victimhood, there is a lot of blame, and when there's a lot of blame, there is always anger that is just a natural progression of that equation. But anger is still a choice, but without a conscious awareness that it is a choice, people will just automatically gravitate to anger unless they intervene with that awareness that usually isn't there. Because remember, when somebody is in pain and has some accompanying anger, they're really not thinking with all aspects of the thinking part of the brain, if you will. They go more into the reptilian part. They're into the survival mode. And again, it's called temporary insanity for a good reason. Chronic pain gets embedded into the nervous system. It gets embedded just like anything else that we learn gets embedded. It's like when you learn how to ride a bicycle. You never unlearn that. It's there all the time. So even if the physical reasons for the pain have been taken care of, there's what's called the mind-body connection that is still there. So that means that pain can still sometimes be reactivated by the triggering of a particular stimulus, which may be something somebody says. It could be something somebody sees, something they hear, whatever it may be. Who knows what the connection is, what the emotional connection is to that particular pain pathway. But something can still trigger it. And that's when people go in, they get checked out, and the doctors can't find a physical reason. Well, many times that's true. There may not be a physical reason there. It's embedded in the nervous system. So if there is a physical reason there, obviously that needs to be addressed and needs to be taken care of. But also the non-physical, the mind-body connection needs to be taken care of as well. So like I say, we can't forget, we can't undo, just like you can't undo the learning of riding a bicycle. But what we can do is we can take detours around those pathways, and we can develop new nerve pathways to circumvent the old, and that can help us get out of the pain scenario. What's necessary for that? Well, awareness is a biggie. Awareness of the things that I just mentioned. We need to be aware, living in awareness, being constantly aware of the stimuli that's coming in through all your senses. That's very important. A conscious effort must be there in order to reestablish new pathways and take detours around the old. So work on constantly being present. Work on mindfulness living, if you will. Don't energize your story, your victimhood story, every time you energize it by repeating it, we're actually cementing even more those old pathways that are keeping us in that pain pattern. Let's get out of our stories. Not easy to do, I understand, but when we're angry, we are really into our story. We're angry, and I'm not saying that that's not justified, but I'm just saying we can't stay there and make progress at the same time. So to work on getting out of our story is very important. Get out of our victimhood. Writing is an excellent way to reprogram the nervous system. Just start writing. Write what you feel, your actual feelings. And you don't need to keep this. Writing and throwing away what you wrote is very important. But there are researchers that have found that if people don't write, they never make the progress. There's a connection between writing and the brain. And to begin with, we need to get it all out, write our feelings. It's also necessary to go back into our earlier history and write about our victimhood feelings that may have originated many, many years ago. But just start writing, write and throw away, but it's very important to write. Visualization is also a very powerful tool. Visualize how you want life to be, how you want to feel, how it's going to be when you're doing better. But visualization is very real to the mind and actually lays down new nerve pathways just like actually doing something. So spend some minutes, 10, 15 minutes anyway, every day working on some visualization. So it takes some effort, it takes some doing, but it's possible to get out of pain and get control of your life once again. So thanks for watching. Like us on Facebook, and we'll see you next time.